Wow. Who would have thought that Christine O'Donnell would have won in the Delaware Republican primary? She practically beat Mike Castle, the congressman from Delaware, who was a shoo-in for the U.S. Senate seat in Delaware, a seat that was once held by the Vice President Joe Biden. She will now join Rand Paul, Sharon Angle, and Joe Miller as the Tea Party candidate. The Tea Party candidates had beat the Republican establishment, led by Mama Grizzly, former Governor Sarah Palin, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and many allies in the conservative media. The Tea Party candidates will now take on the Democratic contender for the U.S. Senate. Right now, the Democrats are now scrambling for someone who's willing to take on a Republican. They're having fear that they may lose the House, the Senate, as well as many governorships. And with the low approval ratings of President Barack Obama, the Republicans smell victory. Is the tsunami coming? Now I'm looking at 538. 538 Politics is ran by Nate Silver, as well as many of the other blogs like The Political, The Huffington Post, The Drudge Report, and The Raw Story. I'm looking at all these websites and I'm seeing that most of them are in shock that Christine O'Donnell beat Mike Castle. These relatively unknown candidates are something fresh for the Republican Party. The Republicans don't want no more moderates, no more liberals. They want strictly conservative candidates. Rush Limbaugh got on radio and he's declared that all rhinos are no longer welcome in the Republican Party. Alfonso Rachel, aka Macho Sauce Production, he said it best. We tried it. It ain't gonna work. You got also Drinking with Bob, How the World Works, and many other conservative activists on YouTube also stating that if they work with the Democrats will stab them in the back. Now, I say that more power to the Republican Party. I hope they do well. And basically, if the Democrats can't do it, the Republicans can. Now, for my conservative viewers, the many assholes who call me liberal and call me everything out of the book, you know, there's nothing personal unless you want to make it personal. I'm looking at it from the source, and I'm going to call it like I see it. I offer an unapologetic opinion about an issue that faces my community, the government, and of course the corrupt mainstream media. I usually go after the most watched news network, Fox. After all, everybody brags about Fox News being the #1 news channel in America, and every other news channel is liberal and all this other crap. Well, you know, if the news media wasn't so focused on this Quran burning as well as this Cordoba House or Park 51 project, the Islamic Cultural Center in New York, we would not see many of these Republicans be in the spotlight right now. See, the Republicans and conservative allies are seeing a double standard. 1 minute that they have their candidates, 1 minute they claim that they're tearing them away. You listen to them, you hear them speak, and then sometimes the independents get turned off to them. Right now, the Republicans feel like they may have the wind beneath their wings. I'm looking at the Senate race ratings. Nate got it at 46 for the Democrats, 19 in play for what's coming up, and 35 for the Republicans. Republicans and Democrats both share 5 for leans. 6 are solidly Democrat and 12 are solidly Republican. And that includes some of the Democrats who are retiring from some of the most reddest states. Right now, there are 9 toss-up states. This state, Ohio, is the bellwether of all elections. Governor Ted Strickland, Lieutenant Governor Lee Fisher, they both are incumbents. Lee Fisher's running for the U.S. Senate against Rob Portman. Rob Portman was a former Bush trade representative and a former congressman from the area where Congresswoman Jean Schmidt represents, Indian Hill. Okay. Right now, Ted Strickland, the governor, and John Kasich, the former Republican congressman and former Fox News host, they both are neck and neck in this race. And it seems like Kasich may win because he has the more money and the more power and he has more of an influence. Same with Portman. Portman's got Lee Fisher on the ropes. It seems like the Republicans can knock out the Democrats quickly. And if Ohio goes to the Republicans, then guarantee the Republicans win Congress, they win most of the governorships. And then in 2012, whoever they line up will give President Obama a run for his money. Now, this economy is the most important issue. So all that trivial stuff about the Islamic Cultural Center, about socialism, and about these stupid fantasies about big government is irrelevant. The economy, unemployment, these wars, those are the most important things right now. Terrorism is not one of my concerns right now. With this economy fluctuating between good and bad, President Obama has a job to do. If he can't deliver on promoting this economy, then the Republicans can take over, and then whoever they line up for 2012 will challenge him in the general election of 2012. I tell you, I didn't think she would have done it. I was thinking that Castle had a shoo-in. Now, from what Nate Silver says, that this state, Delaware, was solidly blue when Joe Biden was running. When he became the president's right-hand man, his son, Beau Biden, didn't want to run it, so the Republicans had a shoo-in. They wanted to get moderate Mike Castle. Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Sarah Palin. They didn't want it. Now, I'm going to say this again, that for all the conservatives who are watching, nothing's personal, but for all the bigotry, all the ignorance, and all the hateful stuff that I see from the comments, you know, if you decide on having this extreme run your party, then you will isolate all the rest, and then you will have no chance of winning in the general election of 2012, which means President Obama for another 4 years. But sometimes I think you need to get all this anger out, so come to my page. Let your voice be heard. And of course, if you go too far, you'll get your feelings hurt.